Hello, Twitch. Welcome in, everyone. Giving the counter a quick wipe down here. Let's make some coffee. Hello, hello. I'm actually acting a little energetic. The whole reason that I'm a bit late tonight, and I apologize for being late tonight, folks, is just I'm just wiped out. At least I was about an hour ago. Good morning to you, Catalina. Good morning to me, sort of, too. Because I got up and was really active, walked a couple of miles, did some quick errands, and got back home and just crashed. And by 1 o'clock, I was laying down in bed. And 3 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to get up. Oh my gosh. So it took me a while to get going. I'm glad pushing that button actually muted things. It didn't, though. Because my main mic still picked it up. Oopsies. Someone forgot to update the dinner command. There we go. Am I using water or chicken broth? For, what part of that? Welcome in, by the way, Zom. Hello. Welcome, George. Sherry is most certainly one of the standards. I'm probably going to use a bit of brandy myself because that's what I got in my cabinet. I should probably find myself a nice sherry to have around for such occasions. However, I doubt mine. I'm not looking to make anything authentic. When you think about it, what is authentic anyways? To your grandmother? To your friend's grandmother? Hey, Bun Buns, welcome in. Well, I have you all conveniently focused on the cutting board. I'm gonna finish doing a quick cleanup of the stove here. One more moment here getting this last pan rinsed off. Thank you, Zom. Back to my good coffee there. Oops. Give that a second. I'm smelling gas at the moment. I had that on full bore there for a moment without an actual flame. Cheers, folks. Happy Monday to you all. I hope yours is going better than mine is. Cheers. So what do we start with here for our Chicken a la King Vol event? I'm not going to be doing perfect Vol event either, because what I have are not a perfect shape for doing windmill shaped or octagon shaped little containers. Puff pastry is not exactly cheap or easy to make if you're making it on your own. And so I'm going to use the full amount of puff pastry and not care about trying to make this into an octagon either. Alright, so I think we're going to get started with some veggies. How we looking on our battle? Another 3 minutes till our first battle. We can knock out a quick red onion in that time. We're gonna ignore that one peel totally missed the trash. This is not how many people are shown how to steel or hone a blade. It's just the way I've always done it. It's always what's been comfortable for me. I've always enjoyed the idea. Well, first of all, it's not great when you're on a line or around a bunch of other people that do it the way that I do it, because I'm got my blade all over the place. But the other thing is, I just take it, I put it out general flat angle and go for my 20% in either direction. Most people are taught straight down into a board, or I don't know, I forget the other one. There's another one that they were taught. Do what works for you. How am I cutting this for tonight's dinner? We're dicing this. I hate dicing onions. work. War. No problem. Victory. Suki getting those kills and assists. Catalina running away with the gold, though. Puns. So, as to Hexclad, I am not particularly familiar with that particular brand. However, with the demise of Teflon being essentially outlawed in production in many cases due to, not because when you have it there's any problem, but if you think about it, it's a material that's designed to not really stick to anything, including the pan that they get it to stick to. And so it's not a very environmentally friendly material. It's one of those forever materials. And so it's not very, it's being essentially discontinued in most cases. And so you have a whole bunch of new lines of pans coming out with, their claim to how non-stick they are. I really just view most of them as, the next best thing. None of them are going to compare to a nicely seasoned cast iron pan. Although a proper Teflon pan for those perfect egg cooking, I don't think you're going to, unless you can still get your hands on one, I would baby it to end of the earth, because you're not going to have it after it's gone. All right, let's go and check out what else we got going on here in Stream Raiders this evening. Ooh, whole bunch of quests. Got the stainless steel to try. Nice. Should have asked you if it was a non-stick brand to include with that too, because it may not even, like you're saying it's stainless steel. It may not even be that. But that is the case with a lot of these new, like, greenware and other, stoneware pans and stuff like that. They're alternatives to the much superior but much worse for the environment Teflon. Alright, back to cutting. Let's do some garlic. which Teflon is. I wouldn't doubt that with today's sciences and material and surfaces. I was just reading an article earlier today about how they're developing new ways to make it easier to boil things quicker by using patterns and designs in the actual metals to create the bubbles much easier and better. Awesome, Ozzy. Enjoy softball. And so it would not surprise me if there is material science out there aside from that would make it very easy to make things non-stick. I just haven't seen it and I haven't tried it, so I'm not going to tell you that any of these other ones are doing it. Awesome, George. Nice. I'm sure there's a diamond in the rough there. I just haven't gone out and tested or tried them or had anyone tell me that. Awesome. And cheat. Just throw it right on top of the onion. Throw them in together. I don't know if I want to use the tomato tonight or not. It's not traditional whatsoever. Mushrooms. Been sort of hard to find lately, but I greatly prefer oyster mushrooms to several of the other types. Maybe it's just me. We all genetically taste differently. Not just we taste things differently. I'm sure we all taste differently too, but and so I've always leaned towards liking to use oyster mushrooms. They're a little bit more delicate. They still give you all that umami punch. And if you want to go for the full range of umami, you just mix in a little shiitake along with that. So we're just going to give these a chopping, stems and all, since we're sauteing them. The stems are going to be less tender than the mushroom caps, just as a general rule, because they have all the structure. They have to hold those things up. Creminis are just a bit too powerful for me. They seem to overwhelm a lot of stuff that I put them in. Just not. I keep trying them. I keep giving them chances, and creminis are just young portobellos. Portobellos. More often, you're using portobellos as like a main part to a dish, so it's okay that it's such a forward flavor. Like if I'm going to a veggie dinner, I'm not going to shy away from a portobello burger. Which that's not really a thing anymore, I don't think. Like I think we've moved on to more complicated things for our veggie burgers these days. Chick in the Woods. Yes, I do. I hardly ever have a chance to get them, and when I do, they're too pricey, though. I have gone foraging. I wouldn't trust myself to go out foraging on my own, but that's one of the ones that around here in the States, you gotta go forage, basically. You may be able to find it in a small store or a niche specialty grocer. But I doubt, like, Whole Foods is just, since Amazon bought it, they used to have a great selection of stuff like that. It's just down and down and down. If it ain't some national product, we've gone from Whole Foods being the store that was all a lot more local focused to let's push 365 products and national brands. You know, oh. But there is all sorts of foragers out here, at least in Sonoma County. You can find them occasionally at the farmers markets. Occasionally. Truthfully, I think in most cases they're just trunk sales to high-end restaurants. In reality. Let's do a little celery, a little onion, or celery and carrot. Nice. Truffle's another one's that it's a beautiful flavor if you get it in light, delicate amounts. It's very easy to overpower. I had a dish with it where it was like essentially a gelled consomme that was just overpowering to me. And I don't like that a lot of it's fake. I mean, if you got the original actual truffles, that's one thing. But all the oils in the stores and all that, that's all blech. You seem to say that a lot when I use carrots, Bun Buns. I certainly put truffle under one of those things that it's much more that people, you know, eat them for the novelty of having them and saying that they've had this expensive thing. Ooh, I've had this truffle. Oh. Welcome in What's in My Fridge. It's a fun name. Oxtail. We talking about some type of tomato? I thought you were a veggie. Well, I greatly appreciate that, though. I mean, oxtail, right up there, one of my favorite. It's one of those amazing amounts of flavor, but it's a pain in the butt because you got to cook it forever. I wish what's in my fridge, but no, I stream 4 nights a week. So while I have toyed with making things like puff pastry in the past, it's not something I'm going to be doing on a regular basis on my stream. I have done a whole bunch of other things on stream, like breaking down a half pig. Breaking down a whole pig minus the head and offal, actually. But that was a couple of years ago now. But more recently, a half pig on stream, which is all stored in this half freezer over here in the corner, which you can't see on stream tonight. Do ever you do dishes with marrow or tallow? I don't do that. No, I don't. But that's not because, it's just because it doesn't really come to mind for me. I've done tallow and, well, I've done marrow dishes before. I don't think I've done them on stream. But I've certainly had some marrow and toast with parsley in my day. I haven't. Yeah, it's my cat. I have an OBS bot. It's one word, OBSBOT, as one word. However, nowadays they're selling them with the camera built into them. I have one of the older ones that's using another camera. So it's got like a little mini AI camera, or doing face detection, or watching what's going on in the room, deciding where to point. And that's just pushing another camera around. But we call it my cat here because it gets confused sometimes and likes to stare at the pantry rack. So do I. That's right, Ozzy did name it. Usually it takes me going into the back room for the camera to lose focus on me. But every once in a while it gets bored. So I think the planned operation here is going to be celery and carrots in at the same time. Mushrooms first, onions and garlic after that, followed by these two. Where am I from? I was raised in the Midwest, went to Culinary Institute of America in New York for a couple of years, lived in Phoenix, lived in LA, and I currently live in Sonoma County, California. But the US. I've traveled a little bit out of the US, but not substantially. Yes. Training my new compost bag. I use paper bags. I put a couple paper bags inside of each other, and then I put them in a trash bin for my compost. And it takes a little training to get them to stay open when you get a new set of bags. So you can just dump things in there, otherwise they're all trying to close on you. Two minutes on Stream Raiders. 2 minutos. Alright, veggies going off the counter here. We're gonna do our battle first. But next is going to be butchering our chicken after our battle. What can we get else prepped here for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that? I don't want to get the chicken out just yet. I guess we'll just chill for a minute here. You wouldn't think from the fact that I'm like dripping sweat that there's an air conditioner like 10 feet that way. Not 10 feet, like 8 feet in that direction. And amazingly, the audio seems to cut it out pretty nicely. No, the reality is I probably just need a more direct fan. I used to have a little mini fan there blowing directly at me. I got rid of it when I moved the when I got the AC because power outlet situation. You got to consider I got a computer right here, a chest freezer, and an air conditioner. We're stressing this little area of the house out on electricity a little bit. Rogues used to be the biggest damage dealers, but now it seems like they barely make it out. We've got one left. It's half health. It sort of took out their support. I used to rally for rogues a lot. I'm losing faith. Victory. Catalina getting them assists. Looks like I just carried all the kills for the rest of you. Bun Bun's getting the scrolls along with Care Bear Cares.
I don't know, is it me or these gummies look a little too happy right now? Like, their eyes are looking... Alright, back to butchering the chicken. Just go ahead and peel that price sticker off. Okay, I need to switch knives for this. Kara. Kara. Oh, come on. What we got going on here? Where did I go through? Thank you, Bun Buns. Thank you. What prompted that, Bun Buns? Greatly appreciated. Get out of here, Wishbone. Not going to bother with these for tonight, so we're going to put them in with the stock for Friday. Same with the skin on the breast. Oh, that's Amazon's fault then. Need to simplify things then. Well, let's find some broken thigh bones. That seems to be the story here with when I get this chicken from this store, thigh bones are broken. And this one is shattered. Rather butchered thigh there, but like I said, that bone was shattered. We're chopping this all up anyways. I think it's much more in the processing than it is. I doubt that bird was living with that leg like that. I think it was broken in processing. And I think the store that I bought it from is getting the lesser quality processed birds, the lower grades of work. You're awesome, Bun Buns. All right. Now let's break this all down for cooking. And get rid of the little pieces that we should have cut off originally. That was part of the spine there. Going for spoon size, especially after it cooks. We don't want them Campbell's chicken size, but we want them pretty small. Campbell's chicken size is like a mince. Like, I don't know how you cut meat that small without cooking it first, giving it some structure, solidifying the proteins. If you want to get rid of the tendons like this, I haven't tried doing it. It's a method that I've been wanting to try for a while lately, but I keep forgetting to do it when I'm doing it. Is the legs of the chicken. This is the leg meat. You can see all the tendons from the leg going down through the meat. You can cut the top around the drumstick of the leg and then use a pair of fish tweezers to pull these tendons out, which we're just going to cut them up and hope that they cook, because we're going to be stewing this for a little while tonight. But if you're doing any type of quick cooking with it and you're cutting down the meat, those tendons can be really rough. As you hear on my knife there. And pieces like that I'm just going to toss in here. We have Chicken a la King fans, huh? No dumplings. Come on, tendon. There's one of those tendons that goes through this, too. Through the tenderloin. If you're doing fried tenders or something like that, and actually your benefit to pull it out and then... I don't. I just leave them in. Throw this in the freezer for Friday. You can still see it there. Need those defrosting somewhat. Okay, so next is cooking and seasoning. And start heating up the pan back here. And chicken. No worries, Kata. I'll let you sleep it off. Welcome in, Maz. Thank you, Will. How you doing this evening? Gonna have a whole new overlay system on Friday. Waiting on our pan to get up to a nice full smoking heat. I'm using sunflower oil, so smoke means we're getting the pan upwards of 500 degrees. Unlike, say, olive oil, which is closer to 350. Keep that away from the coffee. But still want it over here for ease of laziness. And so yeah, we're starting to get some whiffs of smoke here, especially over the drier areas of the pan. So let's toss in our first batch of dark meat here. We're just getting some nice color on them to start here. Getting some color in the pan itself too, something for us to start our fond with everything else here. I think I'm gonna skip the tomatoes tonight. It's not traditional part in my mind for this dish. I'm gonna keep it a little bit lighter in that sense. He says, well, using red onion. Those minutes till next Stream Raiders. We want some color on that chicken. Color. You could add some flour to this mixture. A lot of recipes do that, especially if they're a beef style version of this, where it's some sort of beef and sauce and veggies dish. I'm gonna be doing a roux. I'm gonna be doing more of like a bechamel base that I'm gonna be then mixing all of this lovely stuff into, which is sort of my typical way of going about things. But if you're building your sauce in the pan, like you're just gonna do this and you're gonna pull the meat out, pull the other stuff out, put it back in, and then build the sauce all in together with everything else, that's a good way to go. Let's do our battle. Victory. Illis Preacher and Catalina getting our kills and assists in this round. Catalina getting the scrolls. Just turn that vampire into a machine. Yes, I hear you, chicken. But I don't care right now. I got quests I'm collecting. I'm getting gold. I'm getting scrolls. I don't have anything to upgrade. Okay. Back to cooking, folks. Back to this lovely chicken in the stove, on the stove. You're starting to get some of that lovely color. Queen of the Vampires gets the vampire scroll. Ooh, I'm just gonna start calling you Queen of the Vampires. Oopsies. Give this a moment to reheat as a pan without a bunch of chicken in it. Get it back to smoking, which we're just starting to now. I have too much for this pan, but that's the last of it there. We're overcrowd things a little bit. Had the puff pastry out for a couple minutes on the counter. Now I'm throwing it in the fridge so that it's hopefully equalizing in temp. camera overheated. Let's give it a moment for the camera to cool down. Well, Maz, I have a nice cooler for it. I appreciate the suggestion. It's just that I didn't plug it in tonight. I wasn't really with it getting stream started today. To be honest, I don't know what it is. Like, it is like the Mondays for me or something, because ever since I started this 4-day stream, I used to, for anyone that's relatively new around here, in the past I used to do Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I added Monday here more recently, and the Mondays have always been the day when I'm dragging. They've been always the day when I'm like, oh, I don't want to press go live. But I'm here now. And I'm awake now. Like, it was when I wanted to start the stream that I'm always dead on Mondays. Haha, I'm dancing. You can't see because the camera's off. Ha ha ha. And this chicken's losing way too much moisture. But what I have right now, Maz, is I don't know if it's copper, but it's a solid metal block that fits to the back of the phone. It's clipped onto the phone, holds it well to the back. So it's got a nice heavy metal surface that's pulling heat away from it. And then it's got 2 little mini fans on it. You can find them on Amazon too. It's along that same line. I have no idea what it's called. I'm restarting the camera now. Takes a moment. Is that on? Oh, did I set that to turn on whenever I gotta change that. Oh, hey, there I am. Partially because the moisture is annoying me here, I'm going to add a little flour against what I said earlier. We want browning chicken, not boiling chicken. Now we're getting some of that sizzle. I don't know why that camera seems so out of focus to me. Like, my hand doesn't seem out of focus, but that chicken seems out of focus to me. I don't think these new cameras that I got like the heat as much as the old one. Like, I think the 920s instead of the, what are these, Brio? I forget what they call them. But the Logitech 4Ks that aren't that new version that they have that are extremely expensive. I think Logitech is realizing that they're going to be quickly be replaced here by old cell phones. Because camera tech is not moving, well, it's more that internet tech is not moving to the point where we can handle 4K, 8K all the time. You can download a video, but streaming video is another thing. And we're going to need another significant step up in order to get into the next generation of video. I've looked at all sorts of cameras over the years at potentials for using for streaming, like trying to figure out, you know, what's going to be the best value over time, sort of a thing. Because, I mean, I like streaming and I enjoy streaming, but this is also sort of a record of my cooking and playing at home and the things that I've been doing. And so I'm planning to do it whether streaming's a thing or not. So you got all that lovely fond in the pan there from our chicken. Let's add in our onions and garlic to that deliciousness. I just went that backwards. I was supposed to do the mushrooms first. Let's add the mushrooms too, because they'll add some moisture in here right quick, right off of the bat, and then they'll soak everything back up. And we need a little moisture here to help loosen up this fond a little bit. Short of adding our fun liquids, which I plan to do a little bit later. But it looks like we're gonna have to do that now. So I have to start getting myself back here too. Or figure out where I hid my apple brandy. And because I don't like pouring straight from a bottle, pouring from a bottle is a bad plan. Have you ever seen a video of a Molotov cocktail? It's just not something you want to happen. And so little flame there. Little flame. Always be careful when you flame something, because many times when alcohol burns, it can burn with a clear flame. So give it a moment. Make sure that that flame is out before you move on. We'll use the moisture from the veggies and the brandy to help loosen all this deliciousness from the bottom of the pan. Next is we're going to add a couple of cubes of chicken stock. Frozen homemade chicken stock. Nope, that's on Friday, Moss. And some flour. And some butter. So that's still on the soon to happen, Moss. Gonna be doing, the plan is 8 to 8. Gonna add our chicken back in there. Get about a cup of water there. Half cup of half and half. Some freeze-dried thyme. Yeah, it looks like I'm out of bay leaves. But I'd throw bay leaf in there too. And that will thicken as it comes up to temp. Gonna add some parsley to that, but that's gonna be at the very end of that. Bay it's a very light flavor. It's almost like adding a little bit of a light tea flavor to your liquid. Adds a little bit of light bitterness, some tannin-like flavors to it. Is this an Irish dish? To be honest, I don't know the full heritage of it. However, I sort of doubt it. It could be, but I sort of doubt it. It's also probably two different recipes in origin, because you have chicken a la king, and then I'm serving at Vol Au Vent. Vol Au Vent is its own thing. It's a representation of windmills and being light and airy and Moz. And the a la king part, which is the cream chicken veggie dish that we got going here. Little stickage there. I'll turn the heat down on that and let that just sort of coast. Had this at a sort of high saute all the way up until this point. So that's our chicken a la king. Minus I'm going to add some parsley in there towards the end. Now let's get into the Vol Au Vent. We're going to have to get our oven going here. And let's see what our puff pastry is like these days. I have not had this company's puff pastry for a while. I've been trying a couple of different puff pastries lately. My favorite are still these 4 little Mid-East ones. I don't know where they're being made. They're not made in the US. These actually have like a butter flavor to them. I sort of doubt this is going to have much of a butter flavor to it. But we also have a battle ready. So we'll quickly do that before we get into dealing the pastry. Think we got it. Putting up a good fight though. We had some losses, but it's a victory. Get tune. Getting them assists. Bun's getting the bomber scroll. Ooh, blue chest time. We gonna get some loyalty skins out there for chat. I'm putting my guy down here. We'll do a little bit away from the gummies this time. We'll just put them in back. The last couple of maps, it doesn't seem like this has slowed down units at all, so I think it's just cosmetic, the different color here. I assume this may slow units down. This may be like rock, but this seems to be the same speed as this in the last couple of maps. Stressing about moving. Yeah, moving can be stressful. A lot of things to keep track of. I mean, insurance, licenses, where you're just going for dinner. It's all different. Debating how I want to go about this. These both need to warm up a bit before I can play with them. They're going to split if I try and forcefully fold them. Uh-oh. Yeah, my legs are all sore and tired too, but that's because I've been actually trying to work them lately. I did a whole bunch of no weight squats yesterday, and today I walked a couple of miles after I woke up. Need to keep that up though. That can't be just a 2-day thing. Kata, it sounds like you need to set yourself up like sit-down situations where you're boxing things and caring about things, and or office time, and a little less heavy lifting. Pay someone else to do that. Labor's cheap. I actually want to get one of those vibrating pads because I have a standing desk, or rather I have a desk that I've set up as a standing desk. And so standing there next to my desk, it'd be awesome to put that down and sit there and have to make my muscles catch whatever the vibrations are while I'm working at my desk. Then my belly maybe wouldn't stick into the camera like that. That's also something I gotta do. I gotta go and get my fourth shot, or my second booster. I originally got the J&J one shot, so I'm actually doing my third shot, but it's my sort of like my 2.5 boost or 3.5 booster instead of my fourth shot, my 3.5 or something like that. I also want to get a flu shot this year too. That'd be a good plan. I probably should have gotten my second booster like at the beginning of summer. But I mean, all of these things are, I'm taking the mentality that all of these viruses and stuff all do horribly in summer because of all the sun, all the heat. And so I've been procrastinating on a little bit on purpose because, again, also there's always a huge spike in fall. So of course they're talking about this newest strain being even more virulent. I don't know how to pronounce it, but even more contagious. And they're talking that this BA5, that even more people that have had it will get it again, and yada yada yada. Oh, it never will. It's the new flu. But I knew that going into this. I had hopes that maybe we could do a proper lockdown. No. Well, there's levels of lockdown too. If our country, we would have to have been very strict about entry and exit, but there are so many other things that we could have done if we actually got like a solid 8-day break. It ain't ever gonna happen. I'm not saying that it is, but not just COVID, so many other things. Debating how I want to go about this. I think I might quarter it. Yeah. Okay. So we now got 4 squares. If we're doing a true proper traditional, as I have heard about Vol Event, or if you buy them, they're typically in an octagon. They're not square. I'm just, as I said before, using all of the puff pastry available. And then for this second one, we're going to have to do a second cut here. We're going to cut a box on the inside of this one. We're going to leave the box there, but we're cutting a box into it. So your brain's here and here at the same time? That's awesome. We'll take some water and brush the top of one of these. Carefully lay this over the top of that other one. Try and get it to somewhat line up with the edges. I'm stretching the box a little bit so that it somewhat fits the slightly larger bottom piece. Now that's a hairstyle that I haven't had yet. I don't really have the hair for that, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I do. It can get pretty frizzy on wash days. The idea here is we're essentially creating a box here so that when this puff pastry rises, we'll have a somewhat equal height top. We can take the top off, the part from the inside of the cut, and then hollow it out, and then use it as a box with a nice little top. So that's what we're doing here. Hey, Trigger. Welcome, welcome. Pretty good. We're just wrapping up our puff pastry containers for our chicken a la king that's on the stove simmering away there. Bubbling away. It's actually bubbling a bit hot. I should cool it down a bit. Let's get these puff pastry squares finished first. Okay, so we got our puff pastry squares here on the board. As you can see, I didn't do a perfect job of cutting them in quarters, and so these two are a little bit larger than the top piece. The bottom was a bit larger, and so I've tried to stretch out the top to sort of fit the square of the bottom in these cases. And these ones I just squeezed them nice and tight and hope they're not overhanging too much. Welcome in, Yezzy. Awesome. Thank you, Kata. Let's double check our cook time. I've got the oven to 400. Typically, this is a 400 for like 20 minute, maybe 15 minute. There we go. Yeah. So we're going to throw these in a 400 degree oven and give them about 15 minutes. Go back to that lovely photo of our chicken and veggie and cream sauce. Being a bit lazy with my parsley use, normally I'm a little bit more careful about just getting the leaves, but I'm making all sorts of stock on Friday, and so all of this is getting used whether it's pretty or not. We'll get rid of the yellow leaf though. Making you hungry, bun buns. I don't know, artichokes are a pretty neutral, lemony flavor. I could see it not being obtrusive. Yeah. Just vanilla instead of garlic. No, we haven't. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I haven't looked. We'll give it... We'll start a 5-minute timer when Stream Raiders is ready. You got 7 minutes until Stream Raiders. We're going to be wrapping everything up here shortly. I'm going to give it... Yeah, let's give it 5 minutes. We got 7 until Stream Raiders. That way, if anyone out there in chat who hasn't voted will be given a short period of time to be reminded that they could decide what I use on Wednesday. You can be the deciding vote if it's tied. Kata with the link, thank you. You don't want to be mean to me and choose amaretto. So you want to force me to make dessert with fish sticks instead? That's you being nice? I choose amaretto over amaretto. Fish fingers and... Well, I'm not... I know who Doctor Who was, but I'm not exactly a... That sounds like one of those memes for, like, TikTok there, Bun Buns. Fish sticks covered in chocolate? Yummy. Mm-hmm. Well, since you have such weird ideas like that, Catalina, why is my lav mic not picking up anything right now? that working? There we go. Oh, is my... Maybe the battery's dead. It's the first time that would happen to me, though. This is the second stream on that without recharging it, though. I've never used this one, so I hope it has a battery.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, it was picking me up off of my... You can't really even see it these days. But my Rode mic over here. Because my lav mic turned off on me. Boo. Ooh, I put the puff pastry in the oven without a timer. Let's take a look at what we got. Okay, not enough yet. I'll have some more water. Nothing quite hits like water. That may be too loud now, though. Oh well. Now this is looking gorgeous to me right now. The thickness on that sauce. Oh, look at that. That's just... Oh. I don't mind ice in my drinks, but when it comes to water, I just want really cold water without ice. Like, I don't mind ice in my drinks. I don't like most restaurant ice because most restaurant ice is too small. But that's a whole other story. Those who are here in the United States, ice machines, commercial ice machines, for ages, they're starting to change, but for ages, have been sold based off of their count of ice per hour. Obviously, if you make smaller ice cubes, you can make more of them in an hour. Uh-oh, this is looking rough. We got it, though. Victory. Catalina getting those assists. And some kills. Suki getting some kills there, as is Illis Preacha. A little help from everyone there. Bun Buns and Care Bear Cares running away with the goodies, though. We're going to leave it there because I don't think we got another 30 minutes to stream tonight. But we are not done yet tonight. Let's take a quick look and see what we got over here in first quests and that before we finish up on this. Ooh. Not enough for my flag bearer, too. I need more gold. But we'll leave that there for Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, we have a tie vote still. So, those who have been watching me, I used to go out and find other streamers and put them on the spot. I don't think that's really nice to do them anymore. And so, I have since switched to the concept of flipping a coin. So I think we're going to call Amaretto heads and Fish Sticks tails. Well, we're already tied. We're at 4-4. That's halted now. We're at a tie. We're flipping a coin. We're doing fish sticks. And then we get a vote for Amaretto. Who voted for Amaretto after I flipped the coin? Who did that? So we're doing fish sticks on Wednesday. Anyone who feels like it may feel free to add Amaretto back to the list here. We may get back to it again, but we gotta delete it for now. And so Wednesday, I'll be using fish sticks to make dinner and dessert. I hope you come to join me for that. Alright, we'll leave Discord there. I think we're waiting on these puff pastries just another moment here before we do everything else. I'm going to cut the heat on this because I think that's going to stay plenty warm, and we'll add in a majority of our parsley. Always, Bun Buns. You want to go watch bunnies? Have a great night, Trigger. Hopefully tonight will be much better than the other evening. Hopefully you survived your shift the other night. I want to give those some more color, some more time in there. I'm going to turn this around though. You can see they've poofed up considerably. Do I want to use this or do I want to use a square plate? Let's use a square plate. I think this might be more dramatic for color, but I think this is gonna plate better. I'm gonna plate it much the same way I did it last time. This one cut out now too. Yes, I'm Lav Mike without tonight. Takata. Weren't you just talking about butter chicken the other night? I'm now purposely trying to talk into that mic. I know I'm going to be a little bit quieter this way, but yep, Maz. And unfortunately, I can't magically charge a battery. So we're going without a lav mic just to do our final plating here. We're just giving the puff pastry a couple more minutes in the oven. Okay, we got poofy puff pastry now. The puff pastry has poofed. Be very careful doing this. Steam burns. little bit smaller knife here. Pull out a little bit of that interior. Alright, we got a hole there. So it may leak out a little bit there. A little bit of a hole here. And there we go. Chicken a la king. Voila. Served voila then. And as I said before, these are traditionally octagon size, but we're going square. I have heard about the bear. I don't have Netflix. But I do have some respect for what's his name that's out of New York that's doing that, Hulu. Forgetting his name. He did a whole bunch of stuff for Vice before. He's worked with a lot of people that I know. But yeah. So that's our dinner tonight. We have a raid set up already by Fluffy Bun Buns. So let's get that started. Can you change it? Sure. It was your choice. want to do bunnies now? Piggy life. Okay. So we're going to piggy life. While I go enjoy this deliciousness. I hope you all enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I enjoyed hanging out with all of you, even though my microphone is now broke. Oh, uncharged. I hope to see you back on Wednesday for fish sticks. You crazy people. He says who submitted the suggestion. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I hope to see you back again. Good night.